So, what's behind these numbers? What causes a spouse or partner to suddenly become a murderer? Wendy Walsh has delved into the minds of people like that. She's a doctor of psychology and a host of The Doctor's TV. She joins us from Los Angeles. Wendy, here in Canada, Canadians are reeling from this story because we hear stories of domestic dispute, but we have 4 people dead here and 1 lone survivor, and we're still trying to understand what makes somebody snap.
You know, I should mention that I'm actually from Prince Edward Island originally, and I've been in touch with family members and tell me that Island is rallying around the boys that they lost here. But what really happens here is what I call a psychotic break attached to an anxious attachment disorder. You know, we all have a style of attaching. Most of us can give care and receive care comfortably. Other people start to imagine that their relationship is their lifeline. In an infantile way, it's as if it's the mommy figure that may never come back when she breaks up. So therefore, these kinds of breakups can cause them to go into a feeling that they're dying. They're literally dying. And this, if they don't have this relationship. And these are the kinds of things that cause controlling, domestic violence, all these things. How can you predict it? Well, again, we have to teach our young women that any unprovoked anger, any violence, you've got to exit the relationship very quickly.
Now, this situation, more than one person died. Is that common?
Well, again, when somebody's in a rage and they're carrying a gun and there may have been alcohol involved and they're a young man who's 20, you're talking about a lot of testosterone and aggression there, they're going to lash out at the whole world with their pain. And, you know, he may have thought there was some talk that there was some, sort of jostling or provoking between the guys at the bar earlier in the evening. So there may be some, male-to-male competition. He may have thought that his ex-girlfriend was with one of these guys. So, he had all kinds of psychotic reasons, misguided reasons to want to kill everybody.
Is that all it takes to get someone to snap? Is one moment, one conversation, one thought that maybe this person's doing something that they don't want them to do?
Well, the important thing when you understand an attachment disorder is that you have to have a genetic predisposition. I mean, just because somebody, was abused or neglected by their parents in the first 12 months of life doesn't mean that they're going to grow up to have this anxious attachment disorder. But if they have a genetic predisposition and they grow up in a kind of insecure early life experience, then they're going to become very clingy. Now, men and women act out anxious attachment very differently. Women more often hurt themselves. They eat too much, or they don't eat, or they cut themselves, or they do bad things to themselves more likely. Not to say that women haven't gone on to kill lovers as well. But men tend to lash out. They take their depression and pain and take it out in aggression.
I guess it's taking those kinds of warning signs more seriously than we would.
That's the important thing. I think we need to educate girls that love should feel good. Not that you don't have conflict sometimes, but how people negotiate conflict is an indicator of how the long haul will be. So it's very important that we educate girls that, unprovoked anger, any kind of violence, unreasonableness, controlling you or your life is not okay, and you must exit the relationship in a safe way and tell everybody around you what's going on to keep yourself protected.
Yeah, because it's tough. This isn't the first time we've had a story like this. Every time it's tragic. It affects so many people. And the only closure is he snapped.
Yeah, I know. Well, I hope that we could take the lesson from this and that everybody go home and hug their babies, because so much of this takes place in the first 12 months of life when our brain becomes wired with a kind of blueprint for love, what love is to them. And if it's involved with neglect and abuse, then that's what love is to them. What's very important is that people understand that we need to love our babies, keep them close, and teach them how to love. And if we see these signs in our children, unprovoked anger as he was growing up, we got to get them help early on.
Wendy, it was really great to speak with you. Thank you. Fellow Canadian as well.
Thank you. That's right.